Awesome presentation for today. Please, if you can hear me, just put some thumbs up. Let's make sure that you can hear me loud and clear. Just so you know, we are live on Facebook, Tatap Sangana, Facebook, HRE and YouTube, HRE. Thank you very much for the awesome thumbs up from you guys. Again, my name is PK OFORI-ASENSO. I'm going to be your host for tonight. And I am with my awesome, prolific producers helping us to bring the shows to you as always and as promised. Mind you, if you haven't told your friends and loved ones about the 100% cash promo, please do so. Please do so. I mean, there, win it. But I'm cheering up for everyone who might win. If you know you're gonna win, man, please again, please put some thumbs up. If you think and you feel you're gonna win it, put some thumbs up. I am so sick today, but then I am over here tonight just to see the winners and also do, enjoy some immigration conversations and nuggets from our very own. This lawyer today is on a whole different level, new to the show, and also coming with different fire and different vibe. And that is what makes me excited about today's show. Uncle Jimmy said he's going to win some money. Please, let's keep our hopes alive. Please share the link to your loved ones, your friends, families. And again, big shout outs to Nana Lord for helping producing the show, and also producers at large, Nana Kwesi Wideout, and also A Class and Dani. Thank you guys very much for making this a successful one. And we are gonna start off by acknowledging our sponsors. Feel Good Services. In case you're looking for a mental health educator or speaker, please look no further but Feel Good Services at feelgoodservices at gmail.com. Also, in case you're looking for an apartment to rent, apartment to do Airbnb with your families and loved ones as Christmas and New Year festivities crawls down our doorsteps, please look no further but Feel Good Homes. And they are located at Pokwase, Adjungano, East Legon Hills, and also they can get you anywhere, even East Legon. They also have some apartments over there as well. In case you want to find a home yourself and, off plan and just build, get involved, and be part of the program, you can also contact Feel Good Homes for your desired home of your choice. Again, make sure when you get there, let them know PK sent you so that any necessary discounts you can be entitled to, you can get it as well. Please contact this number at +1 513. In case you live in Ghana, please make sure you have the +1 513 372 5758. I want to say big thanks to everyone that has joined us today, and not to forget about Oswald Wellness LLC. I see a lot of people coming in, so I just want to give you guys shout outs as you go. Oswald Wellness LLC. Please make sure you contact Oswald Wellness LLC if you are located within the DMV area and Ohio. Please make sure you contact them for your primary healthcare manager, and also in terms of weight management, and in case you're looking for IV hydration to make you stronger and also vibrant, please contact Oswald Wellness LLC. I also want to take this opportunity to also acknowledge our brothers Kwame and Benjamin Wuku. They came last week with some prolific, nuggets in terms of financial ignorance that we have in America, and also they want to basically they said say no to fancy, get behind, and also another way to get your tax-free strategies, estate and probate court, debt-free college education, tax-free retirement strategies, income replacement account, generational wealth, so on and so forth. Please contact them at 805-930-7950 or 631-918-0908. Producer, when you get a chance, please put the Oswald LLC banner on it so that they can get it. I don't have the numbers on top of my head. But Tatap Sen is the reason why this show was brought to you live on your screen, and let's say our major sponsor for this awesome show. So let's give a big shout out to TapTaps. And if you do not have the app, you are far behind. You are far behind. The first question we're going to ask lawyer Benedicta today is, do you have TapTaps in app? Matter of fact, we should start scrutinizing our, hey, yeah, baby, anyway, we should start scrutinizing our guests, see if they have TapTaps. But most of them do have TapTaps already. TapTaps is a household name, and if you don't have it, like I said, you're behind the curveball. So make sure you do download the app on your Google Play Store, your App Store, and sign up. Once you sign up, make sure you put the promo code PK P-KAY, and you're gonna get your $20 in your first transaction. After that, when you send money back home for this Christmas festivities, like we've always done it, we're gonna get you a bag of rice when you put in that promo code. Just send me a screenshot of it, and we're gonna get you a bag of jasmine rice for this holiday. With that being said, I want to take this opportunity to also give TapTaps the opportunity to also tell us the updates that we have from the TapTaps corner. Then after that, we are gonna roll right into the drum roll. Director, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, PK. Joso. Edu, when it's Monday, na bebia yidin, the whole USA train PK, nti, Brennan National. Tap there, as you know.
Fake fans here. Oh, fake fans there.
Doctor True share bebia yidin wa na. It is pepe. So tap there, as you know, yes, support to community engagement. We do all these things just to educate our customer. We don't take our customer for granted. I mean, we cherish them very much. To say per se, I mean, BB Omolakeno, we try to educate. I mean, bring everything close to them. And to say the PK kind, wa only tap ni biana unu bi no. Take this opportunity and install it for them. Yasheshe niema no assault. It's the last time we can hear. Yasheshe niema bebre gugu kwemu a yede bana. Say na de yensemre because na ye the D-Day, draw day. Last month nipa bebre winning na America the say security checks no nti ofra omo kwa no omo nyini. Nti kakra bi omo etimi accept ye no. Ya munye dede ni hu se ampa mo winning ampa nye se de obi adi agro. Ye de to ho a ya omo ma winning no. Ye wo time frame I was say omo responding no de ban yetimi pay ni out. Yesre mo. So obi bia winning a on reach out and I say on follow email na ye send ye no. Na bibia ntimi go through kama. So difficulties be your reps be around it, bit more reach out and I say customer service you can also reach out na ya pepe. May take this opportunity so I can just say yes ye be draw na obi su be take advantage no abe scam be anti say bibi banner say won't you can reach out to the customer service or any of the reps to explain it to you and we are there to do it. It became me I would not take much of your time, right? Bibi wo na ye pese ye hu a obetima abusa na you do Q&A session then we delve deeper.
Obey a draw no after the show and I said prayer after, right?
Yeah, it should be after the show.
Yeah,
Now,
so like everyone can stick around because right now not everyone is here. We're gonna be having over 150 people, and if we start right now, okay. With that being said, I want to say thank you very much, Director, for such a quick update. I know our lawyer is ready and she's on. There you go. She's good right now. Let's go ahead and welcome lawyer Benedicta Agyeman, first timer on the show. Lawyer, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. We can see you now. Awesome. So
Wow.
just so you know, you are the second lawyer on the show with the last name Agyeman.
I know.
Yes. And also it's your first time coming. So we want you to take about 2 minutes or a minute or 30 seconds. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what do you do, where you reside, and after that, we're going to delve deeper into the current issues in U.S. immigration law, U.S. immigration.
Okay, so my name is Benedicta Agyeman. I'm initially from Ghana. I came to the US when I was about about 15 years ago. So I think 12 years ago, actually, I came into the US. I used to live in New York. My family was in New York. I went to John Jay, and then afterwards, I went to Georgetown Law. After Georgetown, I did this program called DOJ Honors, Department of Justice Honors, where they take law students and then they place them in any federal agency at all under DOJ, under the department. So God being so good, I chose EOIR. EOIR is Executive Office of Immigration Review. That is what the immigration courts are under. So I worked for an immigration court for 2 years. I worked hand in hand with judges, and that's where I got my in-depth training of immigration law from. So after that, and it's funny, I still talk to the judges. We built a rapport. I still talk to them. So I got hands-on training about immigration law, how a judge thinks, how a judge reasons, and how opposing counsel or DHS also reason, because we sat in the courtroom with them. Do you want me to switch to Tree or speak English? How do you want me to do it, please?
The show is going to be strictly English.
Okay, perfect.
For the purpose of those who are that conversant with the language, so it's going to be all English. But then when we get to the questions and answers after you're done with your presentation, and if anyone wants to express themselves in Chi for the questions, we'll take that in Chi. But
Sounds
we'll
good.
just explain it back in English. I mean, answer the question in English. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Sounds good. So, that's a bit about me. That's where I got my immigration knowledge from the immigration court. Um, any other questions for me, please?
All right. Thank you very much. So we're excited to have you. And we're excited to add you to the pile of lawyers or esquires that we have on this beautiful platform. I must say, on behalf of the entire team, thank you very much for coming and also taking up this mantle. And I know today's going to be a very beautiful one. Everyone is ready to hear the new updates because I've heard at least three different updates,
A lot.
minimum. At least. And that's at least. And those three are major ones that are kind of hidden
Yeah.
drums from different parts of the world. So we want to hear from you and how we can handle this from where we sit. So please walk us through your presentation. And once you're done, we're going to open up for Q&A.
Okay, sounds good. So I have a slideshow, but people are confused. So let me just walk you through it conversationally. A couple of days before, I'm gonna share my screen though, so you can look at it while we talk. So a couple of days before Thanksgiving, I mean, we are all sitting down. I think the day before Thanksgiving, actually, we are all sitting down preparing our turkey, right? And then we heard that there was a shooting, and that shooting significantly impacted two National Guard members. Currently, no one has passed. So after the initial announcement for the shooting, the USCIS was like, you know what? Because the suspect in the shooting was an Afghan from Afghanistan. USCIS was, we are pausing all immigration things that have to do with Afghans. And we're like, oh wow, that's extreme. Then the same, like, so no, these started coming out on Thanksgiving Day. So Thanksgiving Day, so now you're having your dinner, but we are seeing updates from USCIS. The first update was like, okay, because the person who actually did the shooting their suspect was an Afghan, they're pausing all immigration applications for all Afghan nationals. Then halfway through our turkey, we got another update that said that so somewhere in June, the president had released a list of 19 countries. And thankfully, Ghana is not part of these countries. These 19 countries were third world countries or countries that he thought were most of it, when you read through the memo, most of it was like when people go, they don't come back. So there were a list of 19 countries, which included Afghanistan. So then midway through, he was like, you know what? Anyone from any of these 19 countries, as a matter of fact, we are pausing all cases from these countries. So this happened on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. People showed up on Monday morning for interviews, and they were told that we're not going to grant you interviews if you were part of these 19 countries. So today I actually went with a client for an interview. By God's grace, they got approved. And I was sitting there, and after the interview, like I chat because I used to work with like immigration court. So sometimes I meet my colleagues all over the place, and I just chat with them. So I'm chatting with them, and I'm like, oh, so by the way, what happened last Monday? And they were like, listen, we literally came in and we literally had to cancel people's interviews. And can you imagine, like, you've waited that you finally got your green card, you're going for, or you finally have the interview for your green card, or finally have the interview for your naturalization. You literally go in and they're like, oh, by the way, we can't give it to you. So that happened last week. People had swearing ceremonies, people had things, they literally had to cancel it. Then on the same Thanksgiving, the day after, actually, we got another update. It's like, by the way, the guy in question came to the US under one of Biden's programs. However, he applied for asylum and was granted asylum under the Trump administration. Oh, by the way, because of that, we are ending all asylum decisions. Now, let me clarify it here. They are not ending the adjudication of asylum, just the decisions. What that means is that if you want to apply for asylum, please go ahead and apply. You can still apply for asylum. What you are not going to get anytime soon, and we can't give you a timeline on when you're going to get, it's a decision. So if you want to apply for asylum, please go apply for asylum, but you wouldn't hear back. Right. And this is important because people are getting it confused. Please, especially if your 1 year deadline is coming up. So typically, I have a presentation, but I noticed that most people benefit more when I'm just conversational like this. So let me know if you want to see the presentation. You just want me to keep going like this.
No, just keep flowing. Then after that, if you want to go into the presentation, you can do
Okay.
so.
But
But I
because I've
know
had
that
cases where I start the presentation and people rather like it when I just like have a conversation. So, and I'm going to go into so many different ways because they are all part of the update. Typically, you are supposed to apply for asylum within 1 year of entering into the US, unless there are some circumstances or so this is the idea. Like the way I'm having a conversation with you, when you initially like, oh, how am I doing? Tell me about yourself, right? Imagine if I'm like talking, I'm like, oh my God, I have to run because someone wants to kill me. What would be your first instinct if I said that?
me.
Yes, I'm putting you on the spot. Imagine if in the middle of this.
Point cover, and ready to shoot back. I mean, ready to defend myself.
No, me. If I am just like the way I'm just talking to you, and I'm like, oh, PK, Dr. PK, you know what? Yeah, like someone is even outside trying to kill me right now. Or what will you?
Oh, I'm calling 911. I thought you said I'm the one. I was in the 1 year place. No, I'm calling 911.
Sorry. Okay, what else would you think about? If I just say it in the middle of when I'm like, oh, you know what? For the past hour, there's somebody outside that's been trying to hurt me. For the past hour, the person has been there for the past hour. What would your instinct be?
I mean, apart from you try to get me safe and try to make sure that you're okay and call 911, I'm not sure what else to think about.
Wouldn't you wonder why I've been I've been just calm and chatting with you for the past 20 minutes, even in fact I was in danger?
Well, I think maybe your question, I thought it just happened while I'm in the middle of talking to you and somebody's
Oh
trying to.
no, it's been happening for a while. I'm just keeping calm and I just said,
Well, then I mean, I may not take it seriously. I may not
thank
take it
you.
seriously.
You will not take me seriously. Why not?
Because you're being nonchalant about it, and
Thank
this is
you.
something that you saw. Like I said, like when you asked me, when I thought you were asking me, I was ready to take cover or defend
Thank
myself
you.
as
Thank
quick as
you.
possible. So
Thank you. So you have given us the legal reason why you have to apply for asylum within 1 year. Thank you. Because the truth is that if you were actually in fear for your life, you
being
would say
pursued.
to me, thank you. I would have come and be like, you know what, PK, you know what? I know we had a conversation, but listen, what happened was that I have to go because my life is in danger. Let's reschedule. Or I'll be like, listen, guys, listen, this is what's happening to me. Somebody call 911 for me. But if I'm just having a conversation, oh, by the way, this happened, you're going to be like, listen, you're not taking it serious enough. You are lying, right? Because if you are telling me that your life was actually in danger, you wouldn't sit down and be talking to me about immigration things. So this is the legal reason that you have to apply for asylum within 1 year of entry into the US. Because the truth is that if your life was actually in danger, or if you're actually scared for your life, that would be the first thing you will say. Right? You won't stay in the US for 5 years. You wouldn't work. You wouldn't go. They're like, oh, by the way, I'm scared to go back to Ghana because of exile. You'd be like, bro, if you were really, really scared to go back to your country, that would have been the first thing you said, or you'd have said it earlier, right? So that's one of the reasons why you have to apply for asylum within the first year of being in the US, because instinctively, if you're actually in fear of your life, you would say it. That's going to be the first thing you're going to tell people. So a lot of people don't know this, or a lot of people just wait until they run out of options before they apply for asylum. But then that's a problem because they're like, listen, if you were really, really in fear for your life, or if something was really, really happening to you, the first thing you would do when you go to the US is like, take me to the asylum office. I need help. I've had people come to me after they've been here for 20 years, after they've been here for 15 years. It doesn't add up. It's like, okay, if you really, really wanted asylum, you would come to us. So back to what I'm saying, if you want to apply for asylum, please apply for it right now. Don't be like, oh, there's a halt on decisions. The stopping or the halt is on asylum decisions, not applications. What it means is that you can still apply, but you won't get a decision. So if it's in the case where you have to apply before your 1 year deadline, please still apply. Don't be like, oh, I heard there's a pause. Please still go ahead and apply. Okay, so that was one of the other things after the shooting. Another major update also after the shooting was that they changed the validity periods of work authorizations. So previously, most people could get work authorizations for up to 5 years, right? But right now they are changing it for 18 months. What this means is this: if you have a work authorization, pick it right now and look at when it expires. If you have a work authorization, pick it right now and look at when, because you don't want to be thinking, oh, mine will expire. Oh, mine will expire. Oh, and yeah, expire. Mine's going to expire in the next 3 years. Oh, I have time. You may not have the time. And also, if you are now going to apply for a work authorization, just think about it. Think about the fact that you will not get a 5 year one. What that means is that you have to give yourself enough time to apply for a renewal, because we know that it takes about 6 months, right? If your work, I've had people come to me like, oh, lawyer, my work authorization applies in about 3 weeks, and I can't expires in about 3 weeks, then I cannot help you, right? Because then the time is too short. So if you're going to apply for work authorization, just understand that you would have to renew it a lot earlier than you thought you would have to do. Does it make sense, please?
It
Yes.
does.
Another update that came up, it's not at it's a bill, but I just want to people know about it, is that a senator called Senator Moreno has introduced a bill to end dual citizenship. He's now introducing it. Is it law yet? It is not law, but there is a slight possibility that if the bill passes, it would end dual citizenship. What that means is that you can't be like, I'm Ghanaian and I'm American at the same time. You're going to have to choose one. You won't be able to carry both passports. You're going to have to choose one. This is now being introduced. Do not fear. Do not panic. It's not going to be law tomorrow. But I just want to keep you guys like, listen, this is possibly something that is going to be an issue down the road. Another thing that also came up recently is the fact that the Supreme Court is going to hear the argument for birthright citizenship. If you remember, when President Trump came into power, that's one of the first things that he wanted to introduce, to end birthright citizenship. And then, according to what he introduced, he said that, listen, if your dad is not if your dad is not legal, if your dad is not in legal status, and your mom is either on a non-immigrant visa, or if your mom is out of status, then you will not become a U.S. citizen. Several federal judges blocked this, so it currently is not law. But the Supreme Court intends to hear it next spring. That's in a few months. So we should get a decision by summer. So if you want, if anyone was wondering if I was you, I would get pregnant soon and then try to have the baby before the Supreme Court renders its decision, because we don't know what the decision is going to look like when they do. So oftentimes when I do this, I notice that people have lots of questions, and that's why I run through the updates fast. So I don't know what the structure is, but maybe because a lot of times when I go through the whole presentation, people are like, oh, we didn't get a lot of time to ask our questions. And that's why I just did a sweep through. So I don't know if it's okay with you if we break and then we ask some questions. And is
Definitely.
that how it works?
No, I mean, so basically, it's a flow of how the lawyer wants to go. If you want to be interactive, you want to present, and later on take questions. I mean, we are here to serve both you and
Okay.
our viewers. So, and I know that our viewers have a lot of questions that they want to ask. So, this is even a great opportunity for them because, like I told you over the phone the other time, we've never had the chance to ask all the questions that are needed to be asked. So this is a great time. So let me go ahead and start off with the first question. So right before this show, let's say from the day I posted the flyer till today, I have had about 16 to 17 messages about the same question. And it's funny that I just received another message pending that. And I see about 5 of them here listening whether I'm going to ask that question or not. And that is one of my 3 questions that I have for you.
Okay.
One, how is immigration process going to be like in terms so far as the World Cup is concerned? Ghana has qualified. Sorry to my Nigerian fellows, but then hey, they can still come and support Ghana at the World Cup. Why not? We want people, but Ghana has qualified to the World Cup. What is the immigration whisperer saying about the World Cup?
So I actually posted this on my my Instagram page a couple of weeks ago. The president had said that
Hold on, before you answer this question, let me go ahead and lay out this for others. If you have questions that you want to ask, please put the hand emoji up. We will start off with the hands emojis. And also, I mean, of course, we're going to read questions, but we're going to start off with first come, first serve. So if you have any questions, Facebook, we're going to come to you guys. YouTube, we're going to come to you guys. We're going to look at both Facebook platforms, HITV and Top Send Facebook, and ask all those questions for you, as well as YouTube. But please, if you don't want to talk and you have your questions, type them in, because today we have about an hour just for Q&A. So please type them in. Over to you, Lawyer.
Okay, so the president and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, had said that once if you're outside the country, the first thing you had to do is buy your ticket. Buy your ticket to the World Cup. They have said that once you buy your World Cup ticket, you will get an interview date between 6 to 9 weeks. So that's what they have said. So if you're outside of the US and want to come for the World Cup, buy your World Cup ticket. Of course, I hope you know that if you don't get a visa, it's probably not refundable. So it's kind of like a risk that you are taking. But buy your World Cup ticket. Sorry, one of my bye-bye. My kiddos are here. Buy your ticket to the World Cup. And then when you buy your ticket to the World Cup, that's what the president and the Secretary of State said. When you buy your ticket and you want to apply for a visa, they are guaranteeing an interview slot within 6 to 8 weeks. An interview slot is not a visa, right? So once you buy your ticket and you let them know that you have your ticket, then they're guaranteeing an interview spot within 6 to 8 weeks. And at that interview spot, hopefully you get a visa to come and then you can come. So the first step is buy your ticket, and number 2, schedule. Number 2, schedule a visa. Schedule your interview.
Okay, second, or let's say part B of the same question. Again, the immigration whisperer is coming up with some myth or rumor that the World Cup visas might be a little peculiar, tailored only to those coming to watch. Not necessarily you get the normal 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years visa like everyone who wants to go on a B1, B2 visa gets. Is the World Cup visa a little bit different from what we already know?
In all honesty, I am not sure. We haven't seen or heard anything about that yet. I haven't seen or heard anything about that. If I do see it, I will let you know. However, I would not be surprised, because if you guys remember some time ago, they limited Ghana's visas to to 3 months, and it was single entry. And then it took our Minister of Foreign Affairs to go and negotiate it. So I don't know. I haven't seen or heard from any reliable source. If I do, I will let you know. However, from what we have seen in the past, it would not surprise me if that's their intention.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to start off with the Zoom chat. I'll keep my part C, which is my final part, in the freezer, and I'll bring it back later. But Amelia, you're going to be the first person I'm going to call on the Zoom call. So please just stay tuned with me. Let's go to the Zoom chat and see what our people have for us. Vincent and Portia asks, I suspect some are leaving because you are speaking Chi. Director was only speaking Chi at the time because he was running commentary in terms of the promotion that we had going on, and the show is always going to be in English. So please bring them back. You will call for protection, and that was Fatibamba was asking your question concerning the one that you threw to me.
Right.
Okay, let's proceed. Andrew said, please, can you touch on the latest H1B visa? Can you touch on that?
So for H-1B, so initially we all had the news about a $100,000 fee for people that were in H-1B status and they were outside the country. So the rationale behind that was that they had said that they had seen a lot of H-1B fraud and that they wanted to take the jobs to and give people in America, for lack of a better word. So because of that, they imposed 100,000 fine on people on if you are outside the US and you were an H-1B worker, before you came back, the company had to pay $1,000. And it was supposed to be an incentive because why am I going to pay $1,000 to bring PK from Ghana? I'm sorry, $100,000 to bring PK on Ghana on an H-1B when I can just hire Benny from down the street. So that was supposed to be to disincentivize people from doing that. We've also had a lot of for lack of a better word, we've seen a lot of things about further restrictions on H-1B. However, I have not seen it from any verifiable source yet. That's not to say that what you've seen is true or not true. I haven't been able to see it yet. So I can't speak much to that. What I know was released was a 100,000 fee for people that were outside the US on H-1B. We do know that there have been things in place to limit it, that we know, but we haven't seen any direct thing coming. I haven't seen any direct verbal thing on point about that yet.
All right. Dr. Bella asks, application for a spouse is approved, but interview date has taken over a year. Where does one do? I think she meant to say, what does one do to find out how soon?
So is it from one of these 19 countries? I hope not, because if it's from one of these 19 countries, everything about the applications have been paused indefinitely. But if it's not from one of these 19 countries, so the first step to most of the immigration issues is to call USCIS. It would amaze you how helpful they can be if you get the right person to speak to. So, and sometimes I tell people that if you call and you get person A, it happens to even as lawyers. You can call and speak to person A who is not helpful at all. Call again. Person B may be helpful. So the first step for this person will be to call USCIS and just literally ask, is everything okay? Is there something else that you're missing? Sometimes they're like, oh, we don't have A, B, and C. Another important reason that I encourage people to call USCIS a lot is that we have heard of cases where USCIS sent RFEs, and RFEs are requests for evidence. And either due to different reasons, people never got these RFEs. USCIS, if you don't have an online account, USCIS typically mails your RFE, your request for evidence, to your last address on file. Sometimes people move and they don't update their address with USCIS. Shameless plug. That's another reason to have an attorney, because when USCIS communicates with you, they communicate with us, the attorneys too. So let's say you've moved and you never updated your address, you forgot to update your address, and USCIS sends you an RFE and you don't get it. Guess who's going to get it? I am going to get it, because they send communications to the lawyers and then to the clients as well. But let's say you move and you forget to notify them of your address. Then they send an RFE there. Then you never got it if you don't have an online account. And also, if you don't have an online account, open one, because you get things faster and then there's a sure way. Because sometimes you just move and you're just a lot on your plate. You just forget to update USCIS. People think that when they update the post office, it automatically updates USCIS. That is not true. They are two different federal agencies. So if you move, make sure to update the post office and also update USCIS. But let's say I moved and I never updated USCIS. USCIS sent an RFE, request for evidence, but I never got it because I've moved to a new address and I don't know. If you call them, they may be able to be like, listen, we actually mailed you an RFE. Then you'd be like, oh my goodness, I didn't get it. Let me just go back. Let me do something about it. But if you're just sitting down, maybe you don't know. There have been cases we've seen to where it's their fault, where they mail an RFE, but you just never get it. You can do a motion to reopen or a motion to reconsider. A motion to reconsider if it's the fault of USCIS, but that just has 30 days. So if you don't know about it on time and it's like, oh, but I haven't heard from them and it's been a year and I don't know. And let's say by the time you finally call them 1 year later, it's like, oh, X, Y, and Z happened, it may be too long. So every time that anything is taking too long, call USCIS. Now, in my experience, they'll tell you stuff like, oh, we cannot give you a date, yada. But at least you called, right? Because what if they've mailed something, you just never got it? Or what if there's something like a red flag or something that you don't know? So anytime that anything is taking way too long, I always recommend to call USCIS. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not, but at least you called. And also you can request you may be able to request an expedition of your. Most people are concerned when most people apply for a green card, most people are concerned about the ability to work, right? They're concerned about the work authorization or lack thereof. So you may also be able to apply for an expediting of your work authorization if you qualify under certain category. So that's also something you can try to do. And then about based on the timeline they give you about it, you can probably just wait. But usually calling them helps a little bit.
Do me a favor, please. You mind if you take down the presentation so that people can see your face? So those on Zoom can see you, but those on Facebook and YouTube can't see. They only see the presentation. So
Oh, okay, sure. No, so I just wanted to share my screen because you know how we had talked about how I had a presentation and I'll get to it. Okay, sorry about that. Here I am.
they want to connect with you since we're doing the
Okay,
Q&A.
definitely.
This is what I want to do. I've never done this before. The next question is from our sister Amelia, but then Amelia also has her hand raised up. So usually I will still read her question, go through all the list, then come back to her. But then Amelia, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and also your question.
Thank you very much. So my name is Amelia, and currently my location is Ontario in Canada, but I am actually a permanent resident of the US. I became that last year when I was already here in Canada studying, and so I've been going back and forth. But my first question quickly is my son, he's 2 years old at the moment, but when I had him here in Canada, he had a speech delay problem. And I felt like, oh, well, this system is not helping me because I was a student myself and I'd go to school, come. The only time I had to spend with him was in the night when I was also tired and needed to read or rest. So I took him back to Ghana to stay with my mom because I felt like our social systems, they are stronger. He's going to go to church, meet people, go to school, we'll push him to speak faster than here when we take him to daycare and there are just 4 or 5 people, you know. So we took him back home. But the thing is, I know that since he's a permanent resident, at least if he goes somewhere, he's supposed to re-enter every 6 months. Now he's in Ghana. I am not financially capable of bringing him back and forth every 6 months. And even though he's doing well with his speech, he's not there yet. So I still think he should spend more time back at home. What do I do? Is he at risk of losing his green card? You know, because he's been away for 6 months. This will actually be his 6th month out of the US. So we are just scared, like, is he going to lose it? What's going to happen? And then the second question quickly is that so I am here and rounding up with my studies, but my spouse is in the US, and when he entered in February, we filed taxes, and I think they kept sending us back letters. They just wanted to be sure if we are residents, so proof identity, proof of that. But because I filed taxes here in Canada, because of course I was here and I'm a student, I work, so I filed taxes. We just wanted to ask and be sure if, like, it's not going to be a crime filing taxes in the two countries since they share intelligence. So thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Benny, I see you. I will get back to you after the questions. But if your question happens to be in the chat, I will also do the same. Over to you, Lawyer.
So first of all, I'm sorry to hear about your son. So the rule says that as a permanent resident, you should come back into the country. So I'm sorry, where was your son born?
Canada, she said.
Okay, so your son was born in Canada, but your son is a resident, a green card holder of the US, a permanent resident of the US. But he's a
Yes,
permanent
we were
resident of
here,
the US.
Yes, we are all permanent residents of the US as a stand.
Got it. Okay. So the law says that you should come back within 6 months. If not, they will start to see that you would deem your green card abandoned. However, there are exceptions to that. So for example, if the person is undergoing some sort of treatment, then you can submit that. So I know you had said social ties. I know you had said talking. I don't know. Sorry if I missed it, but is he undergoing treatment or is he in some a facility or something, like a place that can give him a letter to be like, okay, this boy is outside a lot because he's undergoing XYZ treatment?
So not officially in any place like doing therapy or anything like that, but he's just in a system where you know how our systems are back home. When you meet people, the socialization there is more than here when you hardly even talk to your neighbor. Because here the only person he spoke to was me, and he couldn't even say anything aside mama. But when he went back home, he's beginning to piece up sentences and say so many things, little by little. So not in any special therapy or any place like that. But of course, he's in school and he goes to church. And in the family house, there's my mom, there's my siblings, there's the grandparents. So that whole community of people is helping him speak up. So I don't know if I should get something like that to help buttress what you're saying. That's why I asked, because
Yeah.
then I don't know, and I'm scared he might lose that opportunity.
Yes, please. So in this case, you could get if he goes to a pediatrician, and most kids do, you can just let the pediatrician write a note about the fact that he's something to the effect that he's an
Lawyer, let me step in a little bit because I know
okay.
how you guys' job can be a little sensitive and we are live. Do you want our sister to contact your office so that you can really tailor this whole to her and have a one-on-one with her? Because
Yeah, sounds good.
we don't want you to say something that will conflict you as well as her. So we protect our viewers in this case. So let's do that. Emilia, please, before we leave, she's gonna put your contact information. Make sure you contact lawyer so that you guys can really have a good conversation about this. But for the purpose of today's show, let's go ahead and get a quick Q&A in and proceed. Steve Apenkwa says, "Hi PK, my question is, does the 100,000 application fee on H1B apply to H1B renewals?" Good question.
So yes, we got some clarification on that. Let me that came out a while ago. Let me look through my notes because it came out a while ago. I'll get back to you. I know we got some clarification on that. So I'll get back to Steve. Let me make sure I'm
Okay,
picking it up perfectly.
right. Steve, your question is in the limbo, and we'll get back to Bismarck asks, a friend has 2 years green card, and the husband, who is a U.S. citizen, trading her off divorce and others. Can she get an assistant from you if she wants to apply for the 10 years? Look, I see Vawa coming. Vawa.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Yes. So typically when you have if you've been married, so if anytime someone asks a question, I will go backwards to explain the legal framework before I go, in case someone else doesn't know or anything. So typically when you get married, when you do adjustment of status, or when you get married to someone who has a green card and you've been married for less than 2 years, they give you a conditional green card. That's like the 2 year green card. And then the whole idea was that you will prove to us that you're actually married, and then you get a 5 year one. I'm sorry, you get like the other one, the 10 year one. Now, there are different conditions. So the process of applying for the permanent green card is called removal of conditions. One of the way you remove and the condition is, think of it as about the limitation. One of the way you remove the conditions to say, hey, we are still married. Look at the joint stuff we have. We still have kids together. We still have cars together. We still have insurance together. We still have all of those things together. Another thing that you could also do is that if there's some abuse, you can remove the condition based on the abuse. Like, listen, I'm genuinely married to this person. I fell in love with this person. I married this person not just for a green card, but because I wanted to build a life together. And that's a free tip. The legal framework for marriage fraud, or what they used to find it, is that at the time that you got married, you intended to spend your life together. That is the legal framework. That's the law that they use. So if you go for an interview or if they do anything, that is what they come back to. That at the time that you got married, did you intend to spend your life together, or you got married for another reason? So you can if it's based on abuse, you can be like, listen, I got married to this person because at the time we got married, I intended to spend my life with a person. However, some abuse came down the road, A, B, and C. So the person can probably go that route. And I'm not sure whether all of us are aware of this, but sometime last year there was some interesting things going on about VAWA. Based on that, the standard for VAWA has been heightened a bit. The standard for any kind of abuse has been heightened a bit. So back in the day, I'm talking about, I don't know, 10, 20 years, it was a thing that, oh, if the person doesn't show up for an interview, oh, do abuse, do VAWA, or even anything at all. So because of all the times that people apply for VAWA when they didn't have to, or just because, oh, the person didn't show up for the interview or that, the standard right now is heightened. What that means is that right now, when people are actually abused and they actually want to apply for VAWA, they have a lot more to prove. So the legal answer to your question is that yes, they can probably go the abuse route, but they actually have to show that XYZ happened.
Nice.
Okay.
Gloria asked, can I have the lawyer's number? So as you know, we chat, can you just drop your numbers in there
Definitely.
so people can reach out to your office?
Definitely.
Samsung SM said, if you are on B1, B2 visa and would want to stay and work, what would be the best advice for you?
Okay. So I'm going to answer the question bad, just because I see someone called Benny has raised their hand, and I go by Benny. So when you're done, can we just call the person just because it's the name I go by? That's nepotism everywhere, right?
I didn't say that, you said it. I'll call Benny for you.
So please, I put my number in the chat. So this is a good question, and I'm glad somebody asked us. It's in my presentation. So number one, if you intend to stay and try to work, the most important thing is please don't go out of status. Do not go out of status. And then the reason is that once you go out of status, the only way you can get a green card is, let's say, married. So it's like adjusting through a US citizen family member, and family member means spouse or child. Parents, you can technically do it, but parents, there's a bar and then you have to leave the country. Parents is a little bit weird. So please, if you want to stay here, if you come on a visitor's visa and you have plans of staying here, please do not go out of status. Now, when I say out of status, what I mean is your I-94. So back in the day, I-94 was a piece of paper that was given to people when they come. I'm going to share my screen and show you how to get an I-94, because this is very, very, very important. Because for you to know whether or not you are still in status, it is not about, oh, I was given a 5-year visa, so I can stay in the US for 5 years. Unfortunately, that is not how it works. You get out of status at the day that your I-94 expires. What that means that if I was given a 10-year visa, Ghana is not giving 10 years. Did you actually know that some countries are actually giving 10-year visa? Those in the Caribbean actually get 10-year visas. Fun fact. And then not every country gets 5 years, so Ghana should be grateful. Ghana should be grateful. But I remember like, oh, by the way, I was given a 10-year visa so I can stay in the US for 10 years. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Every single time you enter the US, they give you a new I-94 with the current date that you should leave the country. But I'm going to show you a sample I-94. I'm also going to show you how to find your I-94. So
okay.
while you're asking these questions, because these are the questions that I had on the things I had on my presentation to show you guys. So I'm glad it's coming up anyway.
All right. So we're gonna call you Benny, and once we get Dr. Bella, your question will follow through. Benny, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from in your question. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I speak to Benny, I didn't finish answering the question. So my internet is
I thought you said we're gonna look it up.
So, and let me just answer the first man's question, then I can go to Benny. And then, so the first thing is that, whoever asks a question, please do not go out of status. Make sure you're constantly in status. What it means is that I have some clients who are doing this. What it means is that you are constantly hopping from non-immigrant visa to non-immigrant visa, because there's after your OPT, there's H1B, there's R1 visa, is one of my favorite visas. There's an O1 visa, there's EB2 NYW, there's a P1 visa. So there are different non-immigrant visas that you can just keep going to. If eventually you want to do the EB2 NIW and get a green card, that's great. but you cannot be out of status. So it means that every time you just need to keep applying from visa to visa. I have a client where we've done R1 visa, we are looking into other visas. That's what you're going to have to do, because even if you do this is very important. Even if you do an EBT and EB2 NIW, or even do you do an EB3, if you don't know what those are ways that you can get a green card through work. Even if you do all of those things, you cannot be out of status. So if I apply for EB2 NIW today and they say, yay, Benny, congrats, you've got your national interest waiver, I will still have to wait for my green card. I have to wait for a visa number to be available for my green card. While I'm waiting for a visa number to be available for my green card, I cannot be out of status. It means that I have to keep thinking of, okay, what other visa can I apply for? Am I religious? Do I go to church? Do I serve in church? Let me do an R1 visa. R1 visa is personally one of my favorite visas to do, right? Because I'm in church all the time. You might as well. If you're in church all the time and you serve in your church, it may be a way that you can get a green card, but we're going to have a conversation with your pastor and all. So you can apply for an R1 visa. You can apply for an O1 visa. You can apply for a P1 visa if you're in the entertainment industry. So, or all of those things. So to answer your question, number one, don't go out of status. And number two, make sure that you are applying for different things. Before I go to Benny, let me share my screen. It's a bit faint, but hopefully you can still see it. It's not big. Okay, so this is an I-94. And then don't do that. It's not going down, but there should have been a place that says that admit until, or place until, what was it? Okay, this is not helpful. Usually down from this, if you get it online, there's a place that says admit until. Oh, right here, admit until date. Awesome. If you can see my cursor, admit until date. What that means is that even if you got a 10-year visa, let's assume this person got a 10-year visa, the person can only be in the US until this date, October 10, 2012. It means that if the person is in this country for October 11th, even though they got a 10-year visa, they are out of status. And once you're out of status, unfortunately, you cannot get any work-based visa. You can't do EB2. You can't do anything. You can't even do the DV lottery, which no one has asked me about. I'm going to give you a free update. The government said it was still going to happen. The government said it was just delayed. The government told us earlier that it was just delayed and it was still going to happen. And the only update about it this year was that there's going to be a $1 fee. That's what the government told us. And we are in December. Hopefully it actually happens before the year ends, but it's not being cancelled. They told us that it's going to be delayed a bit. And they also said that the only change so far is that there was a $1 maintenance fee. So it's no longer free, but it's not too expensive, just $1 maintenance fee. So please, I hope I answered whoever's question. Don't be out of status and just keep changing status into other non-immigrant visas. Okay. Benny, please, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what's your full name? What's your actual name?
I'm Benedicta. I'll save the line.
Why?
Yeah, when I saw the flyer, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on. I want to speak Chi, if that's okay, PK.
Yeah, that's okay. She's gonna just respond back in English.
Yeah,
if that's
because
okay.
it's live. Pacho, person me file my
Me pass-
man
me
is
pass- me pass-
citizen.
Hold on. Because one mama hint into the me say me so won some kakra. Onim say be very personal. E coming kwan. The way we are see ko we are see ye ka yen twen ye pon a no wa frɛ no na one na kasa one on one. If we be very personal because men fan say twi no monte. Ye we chrome for no we translate bibia mo.
Okay, me Pacho, any personal.
Okay, go ahead.
I just
Proceed.
want to flow. Be an me bro not to see. On say Benedicta way na go fast.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
Pacho, thank you. I'm from Virginia. Me file my mommy. Na me a citizen. Or 63 years. Na 34 no, say anya birth cert bi ama no. But onim ni date of birth. And yetinya aye kanana aye ne passport ama no. Nti minimum say asa na be passport so na ka wo hia birth cert. But wenya na omutimi ye ma no. Right now na me file ama no. Birth cert ni a requirement. So patcho advice be na o me das.
I believe they had said that if you are above a certain age, you can get an affidavit. I believe that's the rule. I think that age, I believe you can get an affidavit to show. So you can call the office and then I'll look into it and then I'll let you know. But I'm very, very sure there's an age. I think there's an age, and beyond that age, they can take affidavits if you don't have a birth certificate. But let me look into it more for you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Right. Thank you very much.
For those who are wondering, the question was about birth certificates in Ghana for the elderly. I know there's an age. I know that there was an age. There's an age where you can get an affidavit, but I can look more for it. I'm not sure the age limit.
Okay. I think 2 weeks ago it was said, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was either 65 or 67.
Right.
Someone said, but again, once you get the fact, that will sell. Dr. Bella asks, what are the 19 countries? Because you said it about 3 times. So if you don't mind, tell us what those 19 countries that are on the forbidden tree.
Well, it's actually my presentation, so let me grab it for you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the good news is that Ghana was not part of these 19 countries, so praise the Lord. However, we did hear news that they were thinking of expanding the countries. So yes, today I was joking with, so every time I go for an interview, I always talk to the officers and I try to pick their brain, right? So today I went to an interview and I was trying to pick the brain of the officer and they don't know yet because I was like, oh yeah, you tell us? I know, da, 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 da. And then she was like, they don't know yet. So, and it's really interesting, that even sometimes when you go for this interviews, right? It's sometimes the officers are as clueless, not as clueless, but they can't even give you. Okay, so people in the chat are saying it's 60 years. So according to our chat, it's 50. So if your mom is 68, then she qualifies. She can get an affidavit. Please, I've put the 19 countries in the chat. It's Afghanistan, Burma or Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos or Laos, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Sierra Leone, Togo, Kyrgyzstan, and Venezuela. So currently people from those countries, none of their immigration things are being
So our questions
processed. So let's hope that Ghana can get
our questions are piling up, so we're gonna speed up a little bit because I want to make sure everyone is in there.
Yes,
Mark said, "What about an 18-month overstay? What are the chances of an asylum application?"
So the law says that apply within 1 year of coming into the US. There are certain exemptions or the extraordinary circumstance, and then you apply within a reasonable time of that extraordinary circumstance. So 6 months seems like a reasonable time, right? However, what is your extraordinary circumstance? There has to be a reason. Back to my analogy about talking to you guys and be like, oh, by the way, my life is in danger, right? Your first instinct to like, wait, now tell me, Benny, why are you now telling us, right? And then I have to give you a reasonable answer. So the answer to your question is A, is there an extraordinary circumstance? And B, we have to prove why the 6 months is within an extraordinary circumstance. For example, if the extraordinary circumstance happened on in the 11th month, or let's say in the 13th month, and we are currently 5, and right now we're in the 18th month, and it's like, okay, why did you wait? So it's like, okay, there should be a reason, and then the amount of time you waited must be reasonable in relation to the reason, if it makes sense, please.
It does. All right. Murphy asked, "Does the EAD reduction applicable to F1 students on STEM opt that have applied for AOS and EAD under the EB2 NIW?"
So these ones, okay, someone is saying the land will be extended to 34 countries. Yes, we know they are going to extend to 19 countries. We just need to pray that Ghana isn't part. So the EAD, the reduction on the maximum validity of the work authorization, if you've already applied for a work authorization, then it's fine. One of them was those that applied by the SIT. And so if it's for everyone, there's a whole table on it. So I don't know how to explain it to you. So the best thing I can do is I can look up the table right now and show it to you, because we apply for work authorization based on different things, and for every single layer of those apply, it means differently, if it makes sense. So you can just look up the table. I can look it up to you. I can't just give you a blanket answer for A, B, and C. I would have to know what category you are under and then when you applied. Doesn't make sense though. So I don't know if PK thinks we have time for me to show you the table, or we can just move to the next.
I mean, we can do that another time, because we have our 22 messages just here
Yeah.
to just
So
go
please,
over.
whoever has a question, just look. It's a table. So just look up the table, go to your specific category, and based on when you apply, you will see the implication for you, please. Next
And
question.
can you tell them the table name so that they can look it up?
Literally Google. It's on the USCIS website. So when you go
Yeah,
to
but what is the name of the table?
So it's on the website. I don't know how, sorry, it's on the USCIS website. The announcement that says work authorization.
Okay, work authorization table. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
Sawiri asks, why are IR1, CR1 visas taking too long to receive interview letters in Ghana?
So yes, right now we are seeing those things be about 2 years after you're documentally qualified, between a year to 2 years.
What are they, for the purpose of those who don't know?
So immediate relative. I like the immediate relative, so that is usually like spouse, parent, or child of a US citizen. And then yes, so those people, we are seeing it take a while. The answer is I need pemunti, I acquire home. So
No, don't stress yourself.
yeah,
They
so
will call your office.
the Ghana embassy is backlogged, period. If it was another country, this is the way I can say it polishly. If it was another country, we would see that it's faster. So the issue was the backlog in the Ghana embassy. If you have if people, for example, people from Namibia are not facing the same problem. So if you have residents in Namibia, if you are going to school in a place in Namibia, or you have a job in a place in Namibia, then you can transfer your interview date to that country, and you see that it will be a shorter process. So the backlog is in Ghana.
Okay. All right.
It's like
Yaus
Namibia.
Safo asks, those who have online accounts with their email for communication with the USCIS must check their spam. Most of the communications end up in the spam. That is a very good, contribution, and I'd like to segue on this point to advise everyone to join our WhatsApp link. We got HITV WhatsApp link where we do discuss topics that we want to treat and see on the platform. And also we have the Friends of TATAP Send, where we talk about anything that has to do with TATAP. And if you have any issues or concerns, we have leaders and ambassadors who are ready to help you solve those issues. Producer and director A-Class and director Danny, please put both platforms on respectively, so that our friends and family here can also join and be part of both chat room. Yeah, Safo, thank you for your question once again. And ask the question, is it true that the USA is encouraging non-immigrant healthcare professionals in Ghana to apply for US visa due to a shortage of healthcare resources?
I'm sorry, can you say that?
Is it true that the USA is encouraging non-immigrant healthcare professionals in Ghana to apply for US visas due to a shortage of healthcare resources?
I honestly don't know, but I know there is a route that you can use to. I know there were a couple of companies that were bringing that people here, but I don't know that I don't know the answer to that. But there is a route to come as a health worker.
Olivia Thompson asks, do Ghana also file for asylum, and how does that work?
So you can only apply for asylum when you're on US soil. So all things being equal,
I think the question is Ghanaians. Do Ghanaians also file for asylum?
Ghanaians in the US.
Yes, it's noted like most people that file for asylum are coming from war zone countries, or people that are in a place whereby LGBT is not familiar over there. So Olivia wants to know if Ghanaians can also apply for asylum.
Absolutely. I have Ghanaian clients that apply for asylum and won. So yes, Ghanaians apply for asylum and they
And she
win.
wants to know how it works, so you want her to contact you so that you can walk her through the process.
Yes. So I'm going to put my number. Is there a way to pin it? Because I put it before.
Once you put it in there, I'm gonna read it. The messages are a lot, so once I get to it, I'll read your number. I'll read it out again. All right. iPhone asks, is there any update on asylum, please?
So yes, it was part of the first things I said that currently there's a halt on all asylum decisions because of the shooting around Thanksgiving. This is only USCIS asylum cases. So if you're in immigration court, your asylum case is still proceeded. I actually was in court a couple of days ago for an asylum case. That's fine. However, this is the USCIS is the one that is halting asylum decisions. Please, you can still apply. Please still apply. I don't want you to do not be apply because if you have a deadline, you have a deadline. So please still apply if you qualify, but you may not get a decision until the halt is over.
Okay. Emmanuel said, I believe he has 9 months to lose his green card. I'm not sure who Emmanuel was referring to. Ella Pink says, never mind. I'm not sure about that. Producer, thank you very much for putting the chat link in there. And also, Festina, with J1 visa, my daughter who is deaf must leave the US when she's 21. Is there anything I can do about it? I hope you can do something about this for her.
Your daughter that is deaf. So first of all, I'm sorry to hear that your daughter is deaf and your daughter. I need more context. Are you the one on the J1 visa, or is your daughter the one on the J1 visa? Are you referring to? I'm sorry. I need more context about this. Who is on the J1 visa? You or your daughter?
I may try,
Yeah.
and she can come back and verify. But then, um, she's the one with the J1 visa, and
Visa.
she's with her daughter as she's on the J1 visa. But when the daughter hits 21, she has to leave because then she falls off the J1 with her. So then she wants to know if there's anything she can do to save her daughter from just leaving.
So unfortunately, our immigration laws are not very are kind of archaic, and there's not a lot of what's the word pathways or sympathy to people that have special circumstances like being deaf. So right now, absent anything as maybe the child finding a way to adjust status on their own or change status on their own. Right now, from what that you're telling me, it doesn't seem like there's anything, unless maybe you find a way to adjust status or change status to something with a green card that the child can be on. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like, from what I'm just hearing, doesn't seem like there's a way. I'm sorry, our immigration laws are not very progressive with the times.
All right, the number to lawyer Ajamai's office is basically it's Rehoboth Law, okay, and the number is 929-497-6727. Let me repeat that again for those who are writing. 929-497-6727. Let's go ahead and pick up Bertha real quick since she's the only one with the hands up. Then we're gonna come back to our messages and we'll take it from iPhone. Bertha, please tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Hi, everyone. Greetings to you all. We thank God for another brand new day. Amen. So, lawyer, me too, Chairman, why? What being Papa? And to the question is, if I show 19 countries now, is there any reason why it's specifically 19 countries? That's in Yamishamo.
Yes, God bless you too.
Thank you.
I had initially said that. So these countries came out in June. And then initially, part of the reasons were that there was a lot of overstay with these countries. Another reason that they gave was that there were some human rights violations in these countries. Another reason that they gave was that the rule of law was not really being, the rule of law was not, and the court systems were not really being upheld in those countries. But one of the main reasons was overstay, which is why I'm really praying that they don't put us on that list. And then they just said that overall, the rule of law was not being upheld in those countries. We're not respecting democracy and things like that. So it was more of the conditions in those countries.
All right. iPhone asked, I moved to the US 2 years ago and applied for an ITIN number last year. Do I need to file taxes?
So I think that's a question for a tax professional. Yes,
And we'll be doing that very soon, the beginning of the year. We
awesome.
already have an appointment with a tax guy at the beginning of the year. So please just stay tuned when we get to that point. Thanks, A class, for sharing the chat room link for the Friends of Touch Up saying. Okay. Bertha asks, your question is personal. And that was for that one sister who said she was gonna speak Tree. I kinda caught that too, but I was gonna let it slide. Better at our hygiene. Emmanuel asks, if it was in English, can we pitch in? That was again to our sister who says she wants to speak Tree. I think it's 60 years, and this is from Shekina. Asabia says she has to go to court. My mom did one. And I think everyone was supporting the contributing towards the conversation about the mother being 65 years and also wants to know if they can redo that. Yes, from 60 years, you need affidavit in place of birth certificate. Again, the 19 countries include Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Allowed to be extended to 34 again. Ademola says, please, I have a question. Ademola, what's your question? Please ask. Please ask.
And please,
Bertha, can you please lower your hand because I think it's still from the previous hand. If you don't mind, lower it so that it won't confuse us. Benny says, thanks, guys, and HRTV link. Thank you again, producer, for that link. Thank you, A class, for the link. Gloria asked the question: is there a number to call the NVC people to get more information or notification about my case?
so unfortunately, NBC does not have a number. What you do is called NBC Public Inquiry. I can put a link in the chat for you. You have to do the NVC Public Inquiry. There is no number. Someone asked, I was looking in my notes for the H1B. Yes. It says any new application. That's what the FAQ said about the H1B question. It says a new application. So it doesn't seem to me like the renewal was outside of the US. So there's something else that I would like to say, but this is higher crown, so I will not say it. If you call for a consult, I could probably tell you. But it says any new, and to the person about the H1B, I just put the H1B public inquiry form in the chat. Please, this is the chat. This is the form you would have to use to contact NVC. There's no phone number. Please use this form to contact them. Fill out the form.
Well, thank you. The son of man said, I am married to a U.S. citizen. She has previously petitioned for her mother, 3 kids, and her former husband. Is that going to be a problem during the interview?
They may ask questions, especially about the former husband. We see that a lot where you are married, you first married A, you and A went your separate ways, and right now you're married to B. And it could be that in B's USCIS interview, they are asking about you're married to A. We see that happen. Matter of fact, I saw it happen in an interview I was in today. So it's possible that it could happen. So the best way to deal with interviews is to prepare for them, right? If there's anything, just prepare. Yeah, so it could possibly happen. So my consultation fee is $200, please. And
All
it's
right.
45 minutes, either via Zoom or in person. Yes, please.
Do our friends and families from the show Time on Touch Up saying right here on HITV get a discount?
Let's talk about that.
Well, please, if you call her, make sure you tell her that you're calling from Time with Touch Up saying right here on HRTV, and that PK asks you to ask for your discount. Please do that. If you don't give it to you, let me know. We also talk about that. Thank you very much. Courage asks, what next step can you do if your next step is with NCV? Is it NVC or NCV?
National Visa Center, NVC.
Okay. So same difference.
So this
And
is
you are waiting for an invite for an interview. This is in regards to filing for a daughter, and all DOC has been submitted. All documents has been submitted.
so yes, please. So currently, I said that currently the First of all, how old is the daughter? If the daughter is over 21, is a different conversation. If the daughter is not yet over 21, we are seeing it take after anything about a year to 2 years after you're documentarily qualified. The backlog is in the Ghana embassy. So presumptively, or all things being equal, if you're in another country, like Burkina Faso or Togo, you would not have the same backlog. Next question, please.
All right.
Call is so anytime you call the office, this is a good question. Anytime you call the office, you will speak to my assistant, not me. So if you're like, oh, I heard you talking yesterday, you heard me, not my assistant. So I've been showing my assistant to send a link. Every time people call, my assistant is going to send you the link to book a consult. So this is what I tell people. I do this for free. If you follow me, you know that since January, I've done this is like maybe my 20th or 30th. Know your rights. I do it for free if it's about it. But if it's a personal, you want to call the office and you want to speak to me, then please, the consultation fee for 45 minutes, please.
All right. Finneas Barnes asked, if you're in a deportation center, can you fight it? I have a friend awaiting deportation. How can he fight it?
So I have some clients in deportation center. So typically when you enter, before I answer that, PK, when is our stop, please? I have to go at 7:30. Is that okay?
Oh, I thought 7:30 is what we talked about earlier.
Awesome. Okay, just wanted to make sure you're on the same wavelength also.
Yes.
So before I answer this, we have about 13 minutes left, please. Sometimes people are like, oh, the lady didn't get into my question. I'm sorry, I have a hard stop, please. So if you are in removal proceedings or a deportation center, yes, if you can apply for some sort of relief, then you are fine. Then you can fight it to answer your question. So the question is your friend eligible for any sort of relief? And that's a conversation that we have. So I have consults with people in deportation centers all the time, and I speak to them and I ask them questions. And then I tell them that, okay, then we try to figure out together, what can we possibly apply for? What are you eligible for that we can apply for to get you out of here? So to answer your question, yes, you can fight it legally if you qualify for some sort of relief, and then we can speak about a consultation.
All right. Our friends from YouTube also have a question for us. My son has a minor passport with when I fought for him, but now he's 20 years old, now waiting for interview date at Accra. Do I need to change his unexpired passport? This is from Tony Yeboah.
I stand corrected, but I believe those passports are good. I'm not sure. I think I read somewhere it was 18. I don't know the answer to that. If you want to schedule a consultation, I'll look into it and we'll talk more about it. I'm not.
All right.
And that's the other thing too. It's like, I work with immigration judges, and even them don't know everything about immigration law. But if you schedule a consult, I will look into it and then we'll talk for 45 minutes. But off the top of my head, I have to go look into it, please.
Okay. Gideon, please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Then after that, we're going to go to Ajay Nyagbe Francis' question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Where are you calling from, please?
Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, I used
Yes,
to
sir.
live in Arizona. I worked in the Florence Immigration Court.
Oh, well done, well done. Akaba. Hey, my question is complicated, okay? I was just going to just make it simple as possible. If
Yes,
you
sir.
have a medical condition that will prevent you from traveling to overseas, right? And then you apply for K1 fiance visa to try to get your fiance in the country. I applied it the first time, they deny it because they want more medical information. And then I have to apply it the second time. What do you think about it? Do you think that it's a really difficult to how? I want you to tell me a little bit about it because I know it's something that probably a lot of people don't do. Do you understand my question?
I do. I do a lot of K1 visas. One actually just got approved a few months ago. So you said it was denied because of a medical condition? Is that what I heard, please? Did anyone hear him?
I thought that's what I heard too.
Let's talk about it. Medical conditions. Is it the physicals they did in Accra or the one here? Sir, please let's talk more. I'd like to see the specific document that they gave to you so that I can in the denial. I want to see
So since you guys are going to talk about, let's go to Ajay Nyagbe Francis. Please, what becomes of an F2 who has lost his or her marriage through which the person came to the US but is still in the US? Is this person out of status even though have the I-94 not having an expiring date? What advice will you give to such a person?
Yeah, this is a bit tricky because you come on F2 based on an F1, right? And based on the presumption that you are married to the person on F1. So if you're no longer married to the person on F1, then we have an issue. And yes, the I-94 says the duration of stay, that usually is duration of the F1 person stay. But if you're no longer married to the F1 person, then for all intent and purposes, you no longer have status. So we could if there's another way that you can adjust status, you can look into it. But just know that the timeline will have to add up because we'll need to figure out, okay, when you divorce the initial person, and it's going to it has to tally up if it makes sense.
All right. This is from Bobby AA. It says after marriage-based green card interview in more than 2 months, but no decision yet. What might be the reason, and what can one do about it?
We are seeing so it depends on the officer. I've been to places where Officer A gave an on-spot decision. Officer B says you hear from me, and it took 2 months. So it always it depends on the officer. And then you can always call. You can always call USCIS and say, hey, listen, I had an interview and I haven't heard back. Is there anything apart from? So call first and then you can just wait. But don't beat yourself up because I've literally taken people to interviews in the same building. It depends on the officer. So it doesn't mean anything wrong happens. Just call and then see.
All right. Ademola said, we are on the family route father to child, but our visa is being delayed because I'm married. Please, what should I do?
Father to child, and you are married. I need more context. Yeah. I need more context on that. Why are you being delayed because you are married? Who is petitioning for you? Is it your spouse petitioning for you and the son as well? Are you the US citizen? Are you petitioning for your son? Because if you're petitioning for your son, then the fact that you're married shouldn't cause any delay.
Okay. Festina said, I am. Festina, I'm not sure what you were referring to. Festina asked the question earlier. I remember that name in the question. I just don't remember. Again, the number to Rehoboth Immigration Law is 929-497-6727. And please make sure you are clicking on the both WhatsApp chat room, the HITV chat room, and also the Friends of Tax Absent, so that we can all have a good time and just discuss what we need. iPhone 12 Pro Max asks, please, how long could couples wait before file for green card in here, please? They are married for 3 months now.
So I typically tell people that after you marry, give yourself 3 to 6 months before you apply for a green card. That 3 to 6 months, you are waiting, right? And you are gathering evidence. For example, joint bank account. You don't open a joint bank account today and apply tomorrow because they actually go through and look at the transactions. They want to know that you've had this joint bank account for a while, right? So I tell people to give yourself about 3 to 6 months and just don't sit down doing those 3 to 6 months. Open joint things. Go to places, take pictures, have people over, get people to write things for you. So that 3 to 6 months in which you are waiting, you're actually building your evidence. Because, for example, if you have the same lease, right, or if you have the same bills, you want to send a couple of. Don't just send 1 month statement. Don't just send 1 month of bank statement of utility bill. So wait about 3 to 6 months and use that time to build up your evidence.
All right, Ms. One says, thank you, Top. We appreciate this education. Asabia says, you have to file taxes with your ITIN number. Olivia Thompson says, the lawyer's number, please. And A-Class responded to that. Thank you. Kindly share the lawyer's social media handle. Do you have any social media handle people want to join? Oh, you already.
I actually post on Instagram. I post daily, so that's a good place to I'm Rehoboth Immigration Law. No, I spelled it wrong. I'm Rehoboth Immigration Law everywhere. And I post daily. So I post on Instagram daily. I post on TikTok daily. I post on LinkedIn daily. I post on Facebook daily. So you can follow me. If you follow me, every single thing I'm talking about, it's in there. And if I didn't get to your question today, I assure you, I've most probably done a video on it. So tonight, before you sleep, go through my Instagram or go through my TikTok, because I post 2 videos a week, one in English and one in Tree. Because I know people want Tree. So I post 2 videos a week, one in English, one in Tree. And I post daily updates too. So you can follow
Let's
me.
get 2 more questions in there before we sign you out. Ella Pink asks, regarding RFE, if you get one of these, how long do you have to clear them? Ghana is not issuing updated birth certificate. They are out of the form to print since April. That's
So
it.
the RFE contains the date. So if you read it well, it would contain a date. And unfortunately, you can't do anything to postpone it. However, you can tell them that, okay, this is the difficulty I'm finding. For example, they need XYZ. Ghana is currently not giving XYZ. You can get a certificate or you can get a note from somebody there and be like, listen, we are currently not issuing it. But RFEs have a very stern deadline. So please apply. Even if you don't have what they are looking for, let them know the steps that you have taken to try to attain it. Don't miss your RFE deadline. If you do, you get a denial. So apply, even if you don't have try as much as possible to get what they're looking for. And if you can, just respond to them saying the steps you have taken in order to get it.
Ato says, thanks for the discount, needful. I told you, welcome. All right. Gloria also wants to know what's the best time to call you. 9 to 5, I believe.
Yes, please.
All right. We're going to take our last question from iPhone 18. iPhone 18, iPhone 18 asks, I'm a U.S. citizen and I have a daughter who's also a citizen. She's currently in Ghana. How long can she stay there? Oh, citizen means white citizen.
Let's answer your question. Let me answer another question that
Oh,
you.
then that gives another question there. This is from Joshua Carney. Joshua Carney, you see, I answered the question there. Now you got a free question. Jane Nyagbe Francis, you said I jumped the question. I actually read your question. Do you guys remember I read that question? I was like, we need to get that question from Francis. I actually read your question, Jay Francis. I did not jump your question. Joshua Carney asks, if countries are suspended from entering USA, are there exception visas or any form of entry is totally suspended? Very good question, Joshua.
So it's the USCIS is the one that, wait, say it again, countries are suspended from entering.
Those 19 countries, do they have any other means or any other form of visas that they can use, or they cannot? They've been totally suspended.
So there's been a ban on the applications here. So they have different federal agencies. For example, the person that issues visas is actually Department of State, not USCIS. USCIS has put this ban. But if, for example, you're in the NVC realm or something, then you're in Department of State. So to answer your question, it depends on where you are in the immigration process.
Okay. At this point, I think we're going to have Director give you a good sign out. I want to say thank you very much for coming. And we're always going to love to have you back on the show. And I know you have to leave at 7:30. So, Director, please, can you give our sister a sign out message? And we hope to get her back as soon as possible, because we had about 12, 15 questions that we still have to ask you. Director, if you can unmute yourself and please sign our sister out.
Mrs. Agyemang, yeah, that's it. God bless you so much for your time, your effort, and your energy. We really appreciate it. And we'll continue to say, may the good Almighty continue to pour the blessings of waters onto your business and your household. And to everyone who joined me today, and on behalf of Tatapsen, we really appreciate you a lot. And for the knowledge she has shared, really appreciate it. And we say thank you and God bless you. Call her if you need her assistance. She'll be there to sort it out. Thank you very much. And I would like you stay back to watch the draw as well.
Oh, okay. No, she said she has to go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right. Okay. Lawyer, thank you very much for your time. And A-Class, thanks for signing out. Again, I want to say to those that we couldn't ask your questions, please forgive me, and please reach out to her office. We tried as much as possible. But, with our lawyers, we have to respect their time. We don't want whereby next time it will be difficult for us to get them back to you. But I promise you, next 2 weeks, we have another lawyer coming through. This month of December, a law. So we have about 3 lawyers this month coming. I promise you that about 3 lawyers. A lawyer, Benedicta, or lawyer Benny, since she loved the Benny today. Lawyer Benny paved the way for the month of December. But in next 2 weeks, we got lawyer Rhoda coming, and 2 weeks after that, or a week, 2 weeks after that, maybe a week after that. I don't want to. Yes, we might have another lawyer coming, another fresh one as well, coming to join the team. And I must say, next week, do not miss out the part 2 for our finances with our brother Kwame Sakpa and also Mr. Benjamin Awoku. I want to say big thanks to you all, big thanks to all our sponsors for coming through and helping us as well. Again, if you're looking for a financial advisor to help walk you through the best educational benefits and license, for you to get a licensed professional, for you to be able to get a good medical and health benefits, please contact these our 2 brothers, and they will be able to help you as well. Again, don't forget to download TapTapSend. TapTapSend is about to do the 100% cash back promo. If you send money back home, please stay tuned. And if you don't have your family members here, please get them over here as well. This is also going to be streamed live, so please make sure everyone is watching so that we can go ahead and get this taken care of. Right before I hand over to A-Class for him to do this draw, it's going to be a quick draw, so please do not leave. A quick draw, trust me, like 10 minutes tops, he's done. He did like 8 minutes last month, so let's do this quick. But A-Class and Director Danny, there's a question from Maghreb. He said he hasn't won money from the UK part. He sent over 7,000. That was a message from him to you. Have you guys did a draw for the UK one, the Europe one last week, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So what
Yes. So you mean Maghreb asked that question, right?
Yes, he did. He said
7,000. Unfortunately, Maghreb resides in my country, Italy, and the laws doesn't permit it.
Oh, so Italy is not part of it.
It's not part, yeah. Just like Canada.
Sikanashi. All right, please go ahead to the draw. I think everyone is ready to just see how it's going to turn out. We are waiting. A-Class.
Yes, sir. I was on for your moving Aquaba about the second bit of this time of Saturday on HRE TV. So at this point in time, now we'll be going straight to our draw now. And as we said last time, the first bit of the draw was done on the Thursday show, which was last week. And this is the second bit, And this draw came up in a point, say, all those who have sent money in the month of November, from the 1st of November to the 30th of November, you qualify to be in the draw. One, there are some countries, unfortunately, we cannot include them into the draw. No, typical one is like Italy, Canada, and the rest. They are not part of the draw. But fortunately enough, USA is a part of the draw. But USA, I've got a little bit of restriction because of some of the states and their laws in the interior. So let's say, for instance, every state I've got to.
Can you state the countries again, those that are not part of the draw?
Oh, just to mention 2 of them, Canada and Italy. And UAE, so and Australia and Portugal and Spain Austria can draw no. So these few ones that I've mentioned earlier on, they are not, plus the others that they are not part of the draw. No. So
what about Germany? Joshua is asking, what about Germany?
Germany is part of the draw.
Okay, all right.
So theirs were done last Thursday, So very soon, after today one, the draw, all the winners will be populated like we did for the October one onto a sheet, and it will be put on our social media handles and also on the WhatsApp group page, as well. And all the winners, will be contacted by email and also phone call. Near best, one thing that will plead is that if you once get an email or a phone call from us now, say you are part of the winners, we will plead that kindly do an acceptance video, and also a link will be sent to you, especially more and more Europe, USA. Into more and more Europe, a link has been sent to them, more and more USA, and so on. A link will be sent to you for you to fill out with your bank details so that the money can be credited. And there's always a time frame. This is where the point is, there's always a time frame. So if you don't fill it up, no next time you trim, we cannot go back to it. So we are pleading, once you get it, kindly do the filling and submit it, and bingo, the money will be in your account. So if you are here and say, how I will plead, say, you can kindly state the state crowd and I say country crowd also in the chat room, and let's make some noise. This is going to be a quick one. We're not going to spend a lot of time because it's just USA draw no any year. So please, if you are here, you can kindly put in your state crowd and country crowd also no our chat room no amaye na emanu enyefe. So these are the winners, those who qualify for the draw no. Omudin any ID any shegu no. So we're just going to pick it up, go into our machine. Our machine is totally clean, and I will put in the entries, So those who qualified in total, 51,847 people qualified in total. And now we are selecting 70 winners. So the machine is going to pick 70 winners in total as well. So machine no ever pick 70 winners into ever bought, not what P. So let's get some reaction in the chat room no na Emmanuel Enye Kama. Thank you. Thank you very much. Pacho say wa hanum na say won mu buhye ni bi din bi wo mu a wa bodede gu aguma ma na akokama. So one kasa so wo mu so a na abom amana akokama. On this note, the referee director Daniel Amano Abubo winners no amaye. You best repeat those who have been scraping the screen no you best remo. Why someone yes sir it end up a maybe names one. It makes it difficult for director to see the names, so please. All right, Director Daniel, Pacho Mani Komai. Director Daniel, you're on mute.
Sorry, sorry na afina met me. Minya difficulties. Okay, winners no Felicia Osei, Benis Boache, ubetimi aye ne kese kakra ma me.
No problem. Ajay.
Okay. Okay. Benis Boache.
Yes, one.
I ain't think it's me. Sorry.
I'm good, rather. What now?
Okay, now it's okay. Desmond Osei Tutu. Esther Ohinedu. Nana Yaw Owusu Ansa. James Quatin. Justice Kensel. Isaac Siao. Yvette Asante. David Oforiamponsa. Cecilia Mankwa. Hamdiatu Isahaku. Patricia Kuma. James Samoa. Kennedy Asiedu. Joseph Safo Benson. Josephine Ahen. Samuel DeLong. Jude Echampon. Samuel Pami Yeboa. Elizabeth Darkon. Rosalind Tay. Faiza Raman. Ruth Impari. Joseph Nelson. Mpachoko from Kakra. Mercy Ousua. Joshua Kenny. Eric Bokete. Gladys Boivin. Annette Yamwa. Paul Davincent, Cecilia Howard, Yao Edusei, Victoria Hobbs, Ishmael Issa, Teresa Brago, Sadiq Mohammed, Samuel Akwabwa, Unkofem Kakrankan, Mark Ousu, Ima Awuni, Idris Muhammad Habib, Kalis, Joe Kobla, Stanley Apomia, Mark Collins Okpara, Emmanuel Miriku, Kenneth Boache, Camila Henderson, Derek Clote, Michael Nkwa Durikran, Samuel Adomako, Zaidan Abdul Malik, Melvina Abe, Nuren Salah, Sandra Insiachumasi, James Atampuri Asulawine, Justice Kale, Kyle, Eze Dente, Ben Brima, Grace Ousu, Hubert Akron, Benis Boateng, Jessica Adjoa Komla, Rahel Entry, Isaac Quason, Selina Ajare, Sumaya Ibrahim, Charlotte Eyim Dankwa, Sheila Etua, George Osei, and the last one, Joshua Mensah. That is the winners for the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Daniel Internal. For these are the winners for 2025 November. Those who sent money, 70 people of them, no, 130 was mentioned just the past Thursday, on the UK Europe show, so, and that was for Omo Europe, any Omo UK, no, Yabubo Omo say the Omo. In Bacho P. Maybe a daye ekudue no patcho pi nti se oni mo bi o mu a patcho bona mane na ma no say yes ya me adaro ma wadi bibi nti the sika was send ye na no per the state law na owo mu no if guarantee you for the 100% cash back, everything will be given to you. If it is 50%, everything will give it to you. USA was part of the capped countries, and those were cap ones, with the details or some fine print of whereby say, sikana nana ubinya into no. But lucky enough, depending on whatever amount that you send, and if it qualifies you for the 100%, everything will be given to you. And we say thank you very much as you all participated. And I will pray, say, this December, don't stay out. Keep on sending. Keep on sending. And also check on our WhatsApp platform, also, Friends of Startup Center, for more updates of anything, because we might never know. There might be something which might come up any moment from now. By one saying, there, whom do you go and blame? And I always say, there's always luck in the air. Don't go under the table. Always be out there and be part of the lucky winners. Thank you very much.
Right.
I'll go back to PK.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all the winners. And also, at this point, this is where we draw the curtains for our live segment on HITV, Tatap Sen. And if you just missed this, please go back and just watch it again. And make sure, if you have to double check with your name, make sure your name was in there as well. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to win, so I came prepared mentally and physically. God bless you all, and I will see you guys next week. But stay tuned for the Q&A session with Uncle Jimmy, where they do all the tap focus. If you have any issues or concerns, your problems will be solved there. Uncle Jimmy.